Hey, it's another edition of Coffee with the Goose. So glad you joined me again. We haven't done many shows recently. Just been too busy with, work and family and holidays and everything else. And we're on vacation now too, so enjoying it in Florida. So hope things are well with you and your family. So let's commence now, shall we, with another show, and we'll talk boxing. Great fight here recently. Oh, by the way, as you remember, we do talk about things that are interesting, fascinating, and irritating. And my coffee, got to start with the Java, right? My coffee, very strong, like my opinion, and got some creamer in there to make it sweet, just like me. All right, here we go. A big fight recently. The great Filipino champion, no, not Manny Pacquiao. He's done. Apparently, well, we'll see whether he fights again. I still think he will give us one more bout. But we'll put him in his proper place now. He's busy with politics. Nonito Donaire is the champion of Filipino boxing. He's been a great fighter for many, many years. He's a 4-division world champion. He's a youngster. He's still only 39 years old. And recently he fought against another Filipino, an undefeated champion, Raymar Gaballo. He was 24-0 with 20 KOs. Donaire made quick work of him. It was a good fight for a while, but it only went 4 rounds. Donaire had a rough time with it at first. You know, Gaballo is a great fighter. You don't take anything away from him. He really neutralized Donaire's hook. And Donaire, on the advice of his corner, went to the body, and he did viciously in the 4th round. A body shot that sent Gaballo to the floor. He did get up after the 10 count, but went right back down again. That body shot was just a little too much for him to handle. And Nonito Donaire walked away with the victory. He's still the WBC bantamweight champion of the world, the product of Bohol in the Philippines, and he's been living in the States for a while, but he's Filipino by blood. 42-6 with 28 KOs. And by the way, Gaballo is Filipino as well, so it was a great matchup, a great championship fight between 2 wonderful Filipino fighters. What's next for Filipino boxing? Of course, you got 3 other champions. You got Cuarto, Ancajas, and John Real Casimero. You remember Donaire and Casimero were all signed up to fight a unification bout because Casimero has one of the other 3 bantamweight championships. But, bad blood entered the picture. We talked about that in one of our past shows. A lot of different, again, just bad blood was really what did it. Drug issues, drug testing issues. Casimero was a little too hesitant. He said, hey, I agreed to drug testing, but he didn't go into the negotiations with good faith. You got to have that. You got to respect your opponent and go in there with good intentions, at least until you get in the ring. And Casimero just didn't do that. And he or somebody in his camp insulted Donaire's wife, and that didn't work out too well. And they decided, nah, we're just not going to fight. Hopefully they'll mend their fences and do battle in the future. Donaire has, Casimero has some other issues that we'll deal with in another show. Still really not sure what's up with him. He's a different cat, no disrespect. But who is next for Nonito Donaire Jr.? Another one of the champions. And who is that? Well, it's the monster. Naoya Inoue, the great Japanese fighter, another undefeated fighter. They fought, remember, back in 2019, and it was a war, a great fight between 2 great champions, and Inoue came away with the victory, and he has the other 2 bantamweight belts. So we'd really like to see these 2 guys go at it. I'm keeping my hopes up that they will, and that'll be a monster fight. I'm a big fan of Nonito Donaire. I wasn't really happy with the way the nonsense went forward with Casemiro here last year or earlier this year. It was just a little too much. But I've always been a fan of Donaire. He's a great fighter. He's full of respect. And you'll see, watch the highlights of his fight with Gaballo. What did he do? Well, first of all, he was so excited that he won. He jumped up on the ropes and, yeah, I'm the man. But then he immediately turned around and knelt by Gaballo's side and paid him due respect. Donaire is a great guy. One of those few entertainers and athletes that you can, point to and say, hey, I like this guy. And he's a real role model. Nonito Donaire, the WBC bantamweight champion. Still, he's earned the title, I believe, in the spring of last year, and he is a force to be reckoned with. He has been his whole career, and he hasn't lost a bit, even at the age of 39. He always stays in great shape. He's an extremely intelligent and skilled fighter, and his next opponent better buckle their seatbelts, because Nonito Donaire always brings it on fight night. So that's it for this edition of Coffee with the Goose. Again, Nonito Donaire, still the champion, and in my humble opinion, the greatest fighter from the Philippines. Let me know what you guys have to think. I love reading your comments. We have many more shows to come. We'll get back in the groove now that the Christmas season is almost upon us. We'll have more fun in the fight world, and we'll talk about other things. I got some other crazy animal stories for you. I had another incident here just yesterday. It's life is crazy. Again, that's it for this edition of Coffee with the Goose. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and you guys take care and have a Merry Christmas.